All right, so we're online now with Jennifer Ayers of Alive. Hi, Jennifer. How are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. A little rainy out there, but that's okay. The so you're with an organization called Alive, or I frequently call it Alive Alexandria. What's the official name of the business?
It is alive, but it derives from Alexandria's living ecumenically. So
Okay,
yes, which goes back to its history.
all right, very good. And explain to the people who are watching this, what's your role with Alive?
I'm the executive director, and I started about a year ago, so pretty new executive director to Alive.
Okay,
Been a long time
and
Alexandrian.
for the people who aren't familiar, and I think Alive is just an amazing organization, but can you describe its history and what services it provides?
So Alive was founded in 1969 by 14 faith congregations, so faith communities came together and were concerned about the rising levels of poverty in the city of Alexandria. So they decided to do something about it, and they gathered in the basement of Fairlington United Methodist Church, those original 14, and decided to start delivering food to people out of the back of trucks. And since then has grown to over 45 congregational members that comprise our governance. And it's also supported by just a lot of community organizations and small businesses. And it has 5 programs right now. We did have a CDC, which was a child development center, and focused on early childhood education, which we closed in the pandemic. Now it also has furniture and housewares. So we provide free furniture and housewares to people in need, and those are also closed during the pandemic. But our other programs are alive and actually working really hard right now, and those are our food programs, and our transitional shelter, and our financial assistance programs.
All right.
Yeah.
And I know you rely a lot on donations from people
Mhm.
in the community to run your operation. And because I've become familiar with Alive, I know one of your big fundraisers is normally in the early spring where you hold a walkathon, but you couldn't do that this year, could you?
We couldn't. No, it was scheduled for May, and we were closed for normal operations like everybody else starting in March. And we were not allowed to have, as you know, large gatherings of people, and we're still not. But what we've decided to do coming out of the spring now is to do the fundraiser virtually. So it's Step Alive, and it's a walkathon. It's in its 39th year. And we are proud to have that virtually. So it's the same event instead of gathering all together and walking around Old Town as it has done. We're just going to encourage people to walk on their own this year, and they can still wear a T-shirt. So now that small groups can gather, some of our congregations are walking in teams, and some corporations are walking together, socially distanced, wearing masks, of course, or people can walk on their own. So we're hoping to come close to what we've raised in the past. We just don't know how it'll go this year. In the past years, it was focused mainly on early childhood education, and it's raised about $80,000 a year. So this year, we set our goal at initially 50, and we're close to 60 now. We really want to get to 60,000, so I think we can do it. So we're like right there. So what we're really glad to see is that the so far the amount of walkers is close, but our corporate support is down a little bit this year, as anyone can understand. A lot of businesses are having a hard time out there, but we still had a pretty robust showing, considering all the challenges to our small business community in the pandemic.
And
So.
can you speak in that regard? Can you speak to what the needs in the community are in general, and then how has the pandemic affected things for you?
Yeah, well, generally there's about 16,000 people that we would serve in the city of Alexandria who are identified as food insecure or low income, so people who need additional support. And we would serve them through our financial assistance program, which provides $500 per person, up to $500 per person. That's for things like rent or medical bills or utilities. And then our food program, which normally serves pantries, meal kitchens, and we usually do like one Saturday distribution a month. Now, we're doing much, much more. So our normal average food distribution, to give you an idea, is around 30 to 35,000 pounds a month. Since the pandemic, we hit a record last month of 170,000 pounds of food distributed in the city of Alexandria. So that's about 5 times what we normally do. which means our operations have had to scale tremendously. We're grateful to the city for allowing us use of extra warehouse space and things like that. And also things are done in a contactless way. We used to have everybody come and hand out food together, and now we have all our food on trucks, and people drive through, and we put bags or of food in their car. And we put canned food, shelf-stable food, chicken, eggs, and a box of produce. So people who come to our sites get that. The last one I went to a couple of weeks ago, we had over 1,000 households come through both of our sites. So if you multiply that times 4, we're probably serving about 12,000 people just through our Saturday distributions, those truck-to-trunks, and our pop-up distributions. We're doing now 3 sites each month, and they're getting about 300 households per site. So that's a lot of food. And we're still serving pantries. And as pantries were opening, we were saying, okay, maybe some of the attendance at the distribution sites would go down. But we're seeing the demand for food at pantries and at distribution sites both rising, which indicates that there's a great need in the community, and people are experiencing food insecurity for the first time. We're also seeing in our financial assistance line more and more calls for rent, and the first time people are needing to call for rental assistance as they're being laid off, or they've lost their second job or their third job. So they were making it before, but now people are finding themselves like, I lost my Uber job and my extra side gig, so for the first time I'm not able to pay my rent. So they're choosing food or rent in some cases. So we're just trying to keep on top of those needs and identify areas where people are telling us they need help. So it's a big demand. Yeah. So.
It's really an incredible time that we're going through right now, and you and your colleagues there at Alive, you provide great service. On behalf of the Blaszkow Legal Law Firm, we're very happy to help support you guys. We're going to do whatever we can to get the word out. I'm cautiously optimistic you'll not only hit your goal, but surpass it, and let's hope for the best with that. I've told some people you don't even have to walk if you donate.
No, you can do it however you want, right? So I went out for a walk with my dog the other day, and I said that's my virtual walk. But you could walk. Some congregations are forming teams. You could form a team. You could go on your lunch hour. You can just walk in spirit and not leave your house. However you want to do it. So I think it could be fun. What we do want to see are photos. So we'd love to see people taking photos of themselves. Usually we have a lot of photos from this event. But we want to see people taking, selfies or group shots, socially distanced, and then sending them to our social media sites. And we're on Facebook and Twitter. And we also have stepalivewalk.org where people can share information with their team. So.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. I have to say, by the way, I was delighted to hear you mention masks, because that's something we've been promoting anyway here. We have what we call Mask Mondays, where we encourage people to come by, and we're happy to hand out masks to anybody who wants them.
Oh, that's great. And that's another thing we've been doing since COVID, is we've been distributing lots of things that people need. So we've distributed over 20,000 masks to the community, and we are always looking for more. And we've also handed out hand sanitizer and cleaning supplies. So we're willing to talk to organizations that may have those to donate. So.
Fantastic. Well, Jennifer, I wish you guys the best with it. We're certainly going to be participating. I think on Saturday is our plan here, and let's hope for the best. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right.